Welcome to Hot Topics in International Trade, brought to you by Bromiller Law Group and Bromiller Consulting Group.
Hi, this is Bob Brewer with Bromiller Law Group and Bromiller Consulting Group. Welcome to the podcast. With me, once again, Ginger. Why? Because everybody was busy and just didn't have the time to come down here and sit with me and chat for 15 minutes. But here we are. So what's on your mind, Bob? Well, actually, Ginger had asked me a question recently. She said, Bob, what the hell is it that you actually do here at Bromiller Law Group and Bromiller Consulting Group? Well, obviously, it's, those of you know, the marketing and the new business development. That most time-consuming, though, of what I do is content. Content is, I think, the mainstream focus of any marketing department to kind of keep those flows out there. And what I'm looking for with the stuff that's floating around, I'm talking podcasts, videos, the webinars that we do, articles that we write, LinkedIn, Facebook, X. We even had some TikTok videos out there. We have a digital magazine. We have speaking engagements. All of those things flow into what? It's basically my inbox. And then once that happens, I decide based on what you're looking for, who does it go to? Does it go to Brad Menard, who is the president of Bromiller Consulting Group, because it's more of a consulting thing, or is it legal that you're looking for? And that's pretty much going to be in Adrian's focus there, with assigning an attorney, or sometimes even handling it herself if it's more legal. And sometimes you need both. But many times you just don't need an attorney. It could be pushed over to an advisor, and we would let you know when that can happen. And yes, Ginger, I'm also an author. But also, I think when it comes down to that, it isn't just me. There's a lot of good articles that are put out there by our trade advisors and our legal team, our attorneys. So I just dropped this morning at about, I think it's 8:50 this morning, Central Daylight Time, the newsletter. So we've got Section 301 tariffs, a new phase in U.S. trade policy. That was written by Adrian Bromiller, managing partner. Catch that. CBP statute of limitations waivers, overview of issues in operation. That was by Paul Fedax, one of the partners that's on the newsletter as well. You've got pre-dropped. I pre-dropped my article, Goodbye USA. It was Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney's Middle Powers Playbook is officially in play, part 2. That was about a week ago, but I put it in here for our database as well if they don't catch it on Mondac or JD Supra. Keeping the chain secure, a deep dive into the latest CTPAT investigation with Judy Davis, senior trade advisor, wrote that. Monitoring the Hormuz Strait and subsequent trade volatility. Victoria Holmes, who'll join me a little bit later, wrote that. That was pre-dropped, but catch it in our database as well. AI legislative framework proposed by the White House. That was written by our DC counsel, James Holbein. He also wrote another article that's in our newsletter, and it's the Supreme Court clarifies separation of powers in IEEPA tariffs decision. He wrote that for me as well. That'll be an interesting article for you to catch. Here's a good one, though. Kerry Wong out in L.A., Section 232 in iron. What CBP's new guidance means for your imports, the difference between steel and iron has never mattered more. And she kind of gives you the lay of the land there. So that's Kerry Wong out in L.A., wrote that for me. And I got a late one here. Last night, Mexico extends the deadline for electronic value manifest. That was Brenda Cordova, our Mexico legal counsel. Now, also, we have some things that are up and coming. I did include the podcasts. If you didn't catch it the first round, got about 6 podcasts we did about a week ago. And I put in links to that in the various topics in the newsletter. We've also got some events that are coming up that you'll find in the newsletter. I know when I say events coming up, there's one I want to touch on here. I pulled together for the first time ever Adrian Bromiller, Michelle Schultz of Schultz Trade Law, and George Tuttle. Just so you know, we've been working together for years, and some of you even know back in the day it was Adrian and Michelle and Bromiller Schultz, and then Michelle ran off and did her own thing, and we was back her 100% on that. So I'm getting 3 of the best minds together, I think, in international trade for nothing but a Q&A. That's it. That's right. So it's going to be a Q&A. Ask the questions, send them to me in advance, and we'll kind of plow through them, find out which would be the best for the room. But that is up and coming, and you'll see that May 19th. So I put out a blast on that. I think it was last night for the first time or this morning, somewhere in there. But catch that one, because it's going to be an ICPA Tuesday Trade Talks. Again, May 19th with Adrian Bromiller, Michelle Schultz, and George Tuttle of Tuttle Law. Schultz Trade Law, by the way. So of those things, Ginger, that I do, it really comes down to the flow into my inbox. And what is that? Essentially a form that you fill out. It takes like 2 minutes. So like I said, when it comes into my inbox, I do my best. I know some of you have said, Bob, where the heck are you? I do my best that within an hour, if not 4 max, if I'm in the States, to get back to you and respond, because a lot of you are coming to my inbox saying, I need ASAP help. That can be hard sometimes because we're a little bit busy, but I'm telling you, I'll do my best. I'm the facilitator of that. If you have other needs, I'm usually trying to get on as many calls as I possibly can. When I talk about the other needs, you may have some ad hoc that you need that we'll get into by my putting you in front of, let's say, our DC counsel, Jim Holbein, because he's my contracts guy, go-to. You may need that, as well as maybe a discussion with Robert Stein when it comes to the FTZ operations, or whatever it is else that you may need. I can help facilitate those meetings as well, because a lot of times it's hard to pull everybody in for a 30-minute max consult that we're doing, just so you know. But I'm doing my best, and I always kind of keep my phone with me at all times right here in case you do ping me and I'm just out and about, because I do have a life. So just wanted to let you know that Ginger's been asking me some questions. I really wanted to kind of fill her in real quick on how that goes down when you go to our website and you'll see a little button that just says submit your project. I just want to let you know I'm on top of it. I'm doing the best I can, and I can help. So thanks. Talk to you later.